Well, Prof. Silvia Koller, welcome here to South Africa, to the Northwest University, and to Optentia specifically. We're also very excited that you've accepted this invitation to become an extraordinary professor, and welcome to this wonderful team of researchers here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I feel very excited about working with you, and I really am looking forward to collaborate and to be a very strong part of the team.
That's fantastic. We look forward to working with you. Now tell me, most of your work has primarily looked at the psychological well-being of youth and their families, but specifically focusing on the socio-cultural, or rather the socio-environmental circumstances within which they live. What do you think are the most important lessons that you've taken out of the work that you've done?
Well, it has been like 20 years that I'm working with street children, sexually abused girls and boys, and at-risk families and communities. And I can tell you that every day I'm learning a new lesson.
Of course.
But I guess if I look back to our research findings and our community work, the lesson I had as the most important in my everyday work was that if you give a chance to a person of any age to be the author of their lives, you are giving them a very important opportunity to be themselves and to be actually have self-efficacy, and to be really a person with values and with self-worth and self-confidence. So that's an important thing, to be the author of your life.
Right. It sounds like autonomy and motivation would be the driving force for any youth, regardless of their circumstances, to then succeed.
Yeah, and also self-confidence, and when one can see that no matter what, they have values, they have a chance to change, they have a purpose of finding meaning in their lives.
Sure. But now you've also made an argument that is in fact not new, but we need to listen better to it. That in fact positive psychology as a scientific discipline needs to pay attention to both the positive and the negative aspects of life. Would you please elaborate more on that?
Yeah, we cannot discard all the experience people have, and we all live at risk.
Yeah.
We all have our vulnerabilities.
Yes.
We all have a history of our lives. So we have to look at the history. We have all the things that happen in our lives, and then we have to value those episodes or situations, or even our personal characteristics. So we cannot discard all those aspects. We have to look at those aspects and make a counterpoint relating to the positive aspects, the chances we have, the opportunities we have, and our self-efficacy, our self-esteem, our self-confidence. So we have to measure and weight both of aspects. We cannot find just good things about our participants.
Yes.
Like, they have hope, they show very high levels of self-efficacy or self-esteem, or they are very intelligent, they have good achievements. We have to look also to their anxiety, their depression, or other problems they have, and their history. So if we get a full picture of everyone, we can have better results in our discussions and research.
I agree. I in fact like that very much. So in fact what you are communicating is that on this path towards well-being, we have risk factors, but we also have promoting factors. From your research, what have you learned as being the most significant risk factors towards, especially for young people, achieving this state of well-being?
Yeah, we usually have 3 aspects that we look at.
Yes.
Personal characteristics, meaning self-efficacy, self-esteem, achievements, cognitive level, and other personal aspects.
Yes.
We also look at social and emotional networks, the way they are structured, and the way they function, because there is a little bit of difference. You can have a social network, but it's not working well. So both things are important. And the third aspect is the ecological cohesion. I mean, how much are you feeling well in your life? How much are you feeling happy? How much hope do you have? Are you an optimistic person? How is your humor? So are you feeling okay with your ecological context? Do you like your work? Do you like to live in the place where you live? So all those aspects we have to take into account when we are looking to risk factors and protective factors and promotional factors also.
Great. Now, in your lecture, you very specifically isolated, or you thought that meaning in life is the driving force for both motivation and well-being. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, if you have a purpose in your life, if you feel like someone who can achieve more, if you look at the future, not that you are not taking into account your history, your past, or you have to learn from this and go towards a meaning in life, a purpose in life. So you have high levels of motivation, and also you are looking forward to achieve something. You have a life project, and you have to have meaning. I mean, you have to have values that allow you to go after this future. So you are always looking forward to achieve something.
It also sounds as if it is expected of everybody to function at this high level of existential fulfillment, of meaning. And yet we know that in reality it is not like that. What happens to these other people who may be in the other categories of experiencing meaning? Those who could be in crisis, those who could be really indifferent, those who could be in conflict?
Yeah, we have different levels and like categories of meaning in life. Or we can see, if we look around, we can have very happy people. Mm-hmm. They look very happy, but they don't really have high expectations to the future, you know, and they feel happy about it.
Yeah.
So we cannot look to other people with our values.
Right.
You know, if you look, for example, I learned it very soon.
Yes.
I cannot look to a street child and see and wait and hope that this person is going to have the same meaning in life that I have. Because our social background and contextual aspects are really different. So we have to understand why this person is, for example, willing to achieve a lot and is not working very hard for to find a way to do it. Or if this person has many opportunities, is not caring about the opportunities she or he is getting. Yeah. So it's really a very special thing. We have to, as psychologists, you know, as social educators, as health agents, we have to be very aware of the values that the person has, and not judge them from the beginning.
Yes, yes. There is no universality with which we must apply our theories, is it? Yeah. Now, finally, positive psychology is growing as a good scientific field, but particularly now in the global south, which is very different from our northern counterparts. What do you think we ought to be doing right as researchers within positive psychology here where we find ourselves?
I really like to be a person who lives in the South, who was born in the South part of the world. And because I think that we have a lot to teach. And we are a very vivid, eloquent, happy group of people. You know, if you walk around in the south part of the world, you always see much more color and sounds, and it's really very strong. And I guess we have a lot to teach to the world. And positive psychology can be a good field. I mean, we have many examples of happiness and all this very alive group of people. We have to build on the things we have. I mean, we have to do a lot of research. We have to go to the communities and learn from them, not just having academic thoughts, you know. We have to create our own instruments to measure specific aspects of psychological aspects, and more than that, I guess that we have to do a very strong body of research findings, and not use positive psychology as a way of commercialize psychology or use it as a thing to do marketing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so we have to build on a very strong and rigorous scientific data sets and body of data.
It's great. It's great. I love the fact that we know that it must be science that should continue to drive our knowledge and knowledge production within positive psychology.
Yeah. And not forgetting to go to the communities to learn from them.
Yeah.
You know, we cannot stay inside the universities and think, oh, we can think about this and do our research out of our readings and everything. We have to go to the communities. We have to learn from them. They have a lot to teach us. And to go back to them with our data, to discuss the data, to make sense,
Yes.
to give meaning,
Yes.
you know, to the data banks and data sets that we have.
That's great. Well, Silvia, thank you very much for the lovely talk. And once again, welcome to our program. And we really look forward to the work that we'll be doing with you.
Wow, the privilege is mine, and I thank you so much for being my friend, being my colleague, and I'm looking forward to collaborate with you and to have your students around.